Johannesburg is a vast expanse of highways and shopping malls built over the hollowed-out earth of a gold mining town for the last 130 years. It's the biggest city in South Africa and one of the biggest in Africa. It's also the largest man-made forest in the world. The density of trees actually affects the rainfall levels in the region. An interesting point to take note of in these times of climate change. It's an electric city, constantly charged by thunderstorms. But what really makes Johannesburg run isn't money or business or the mining industry, it's people. In this harsh city, the people are real, warm-hearted and hospitable. I want to introduce you to some of my favorite people living in the city. I want to show you the legends, the independents, the mavericks, the people who did things their way, and they did it successfully. As a result, they've become institutions. These people paved the way for the rest of us. Have some respect. Welcome to my world. It's food, it's booze, it's tattoos. Join me as I go on an epic road trip across South Africa. We're gonna eat, we're gonna drink, and we're gonna get tattooed.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I'm the chef at the Leopard restaurant in Melville. We've been running this restaurant for about 3 years. Before that, we had other restaurants from about 15 years back, and we are, for good, for bad, addicted to it.
What's your story with food, Andrea?
I've always been keen on cooking, but I didn't train as a chef. I actually did a fine art training, and then I started moonlighting at friends' restaurants. I worked for a good friend of mine, Bram Kruger, who's no longer alive. It was a mad place to work, but it was such fun. That was really good training for me because he also didn't have formal training. It was all damage control and make a plan. It's really making it up as you go along, which is a good way to learn in a South African restaurant because there's no set of rules in a way and there's a language thing. Even the way that most of the staff in our restaurants come up through the ranks. One guy who works with us now as a head chef, he was our car guard when we had Super Bonbon. And now, 16 years later, he's a head chef. My other head chef, Leah, she also came to us when she was very young and she started working in the scullery. And she was just too amazing. She just got a sort of palate that makes you believe in gifts from God. You know, she's completely incredible. And I mean, I definitely wouldn't be able to have a restaurant without her.
You've gone from being, a young whippersnapper being taught by, of the best.
Or perhaps of the maddest.
Of the maddest.
Yeah. And the best.
And now that you're guiding people in the same way.
It's not so much a sense of achievement, it's more a sense of happiness when you see somebody really being so good at what they do and being in the right place for them.
What are we doing, boss?
Okay, so we are doing our steak tartare, which we're not making in the traditional French way. At the moment, the way we serve it is almost Ethiopian. What you're going to do is you're going to take all the white out, and then all the rest of the meat you're going to cut into tiny little pieces.
Yes, chef.
I've become increasingly aware of the issues around production. Only when you get food in huge quantity do you really start thinking about the story behind that. How did that get to you? This huge box of 48 little quail bodies. You look at it and you start thinking, I need to find out more. Am I cool with this? Is it okay? I don't want to be part of something that's just terrible and cruel. And you know what else I love about serving tartare? The fact is that even though we're using grass-fed beef is just quite hectic carbon emissions-wise. So with tartare, you're not needing to eat that much of it. It's really, really rich when you eat it raw. It's also really good for you to be eating it raw rather than cooked. The way that something is grown makes much more of a difference to the carbon footprint than where it comes from. So if, for example, you were to get green beans from Kenya and they'd been farmed without those kind of fertilizers and pesticides, that probably would have a far lower carbon footprint than beans from literally around the corner. I think the thing is that there's so much information coming at us about food that we tend to latch onto something that seems easy to do. But in a situation where you're choosing between the production method and where it's from, the production method does win out.
Yeah.
What we're going to do now is mussels in a sauce which is made of white wine, cream, chili, and ginger. It's fantastic. The other cool thing about mussels is that they're a really green seafood option. They actually clean the water as they farm. So they are the greenest farmed food. They smell like Cape Town, eh?
It smells like holiday. It
smells like holiday.
It smells like home and Christmas and
It does smell like holiday.
We need the devilish seas, hide from the enemies to live and die.
The style of the food that I've made and the dishes that I choose to make have really stayed very much the same. Of course, new dishes come in and other ones get thrown out. Anything really. I don't have rules about what I put on the menu or don't. I think that my menu veers quite radically around the globe in the way that a lot of chefs nowadays do, because we're getting information from so many places all the time. I do quite casual food. I think it's more mongrel food in a way. It's a bit of everything thrown together. That makes it sound so awful, but you know what I mean. Fusion sounds too posh for the sort of food that I do. I like big flavors. I almost want every meal to be something that's like somebody's hit me across the face. Do you think that looks delicious?
the meat looks particularly good.
Yeah, the meat. Oh my goodness. I don't know who chopped that, but that is perfect.
Let's eat it. I really enjoyed meeting Andrea. She's so informed, passionate and compassionate about food. It feels good to prepare and to eat food that is ethically sourced. But what's more, when I come to this restaurant, I'm in the company of artists. I think it tastes extra good because, I made it. I could use some whiskey.